All right, welcome to week 3 of Math 110 online. You can still get to front pages for week 1 and week 2, but you now come to a new front page for week 3. You might need that front page week 2 if you haven't done your project work. Starting the spreadsheet, there's the little sample one there. That's what's left on front page week 2. But anyway, assignments this week include the rest of my math lab for chapter 14. So there's 14, 3, 4, and 5. You can find that through the My Lab and Mastering link over here, or it's in the modules, or it will be in just a minute. Okay, then continuing to work on the project parts from last week. I thought you would just get started last week on gathering all of your data, kind of at a minimum, and then this week calculating all the statistics that I asked for in week 2. I also went ahead and added the rest of the stats part of our final project. You can work on that. Your goal should probably be to finish all that by week 4. Remember, it's not all due until the end of the course, but we will be done with stats next week, and so you probably want to go ahead and work on finishing the project up in the next couple of weeks, that part of it. There's only one graded discussion this week. It is a reflection. I didn't put a graded discussion for project work because some of you may be ahead of where you need to be. I did put an ungraded project work discussion. We'll look at that if you do have questions for me. And then we have a test coming up in week 4. It doesn't exist yet, but it will by next Monday or so. And so week 4 will not have any new homework. It will only have finishing up the project work, which you have all of, and the test that will get posted. Okay? Let's go look at modules. So our week 3 module is down here. You've got My Math Lab assignments. You have an ungraded project work week 3 discussion. If you have any questions or you want to post files for me in there, you can do that. Reflection for week 3 is our one discussion assignment this week. So we'll do these throughout the course. This one's worth 10 points. There's 5 different questions here. There's a rubric up here. So respond to this. Everybody will be able to see what you post. You can see there's already an answer down there. Hopefully, maybe you can help some people out on here responding to some of their questions or things like that. Okay, let's go back and continue to look here. The rest of what we have, the project instructions were updated. So week 3 basically says continue your work from week 2. And then the rest of this is finishing up. So create 3 graphs which you feel provide a good comparison of the roller coasters at your parks. There are lots of options here, so there's a whole lot of things that you could do. What you're trying to do with your graphs is kind of tell a story about the statistics of the roller coasters at your different parks. So you could compare the speeds of the roller coasters at the parks. You could compare the parks with the most 200-foot roller coasters. You could compare the parks with the most loops. You could compare the parks on all kinds of different things. So come up with a couple ideas, post those, and I'll kind of tell you if you're on the right track or not. If you can't come up with ideas for graphs, I gave you a couple in this video, but you could kind of play along the vein of those. You don't really have to get all 3 again until the end of the class, but you probably want to go ahead and knock this out. So, determine if there's a linear correlation between height and inversions based on all the data from all of your parks. Finding linear correlation is something you can do in Google Sheets. You can Google how to do that to find the R value, and you can find out whether it's significant or not. You could also do that in your graphing calculator, but then you'd have to type all the data in there, and you already have all the data in your final spreadsheet where you put all the data together, so I would use that. And then from all of the coasters on your trip, which is the longest, fastest, tallest, inversioniest, that's not a real word, the one with the most loops, which number is the most impressive? So this is asking you to find z-scores. You could calculate those by hand. You could also make a Google Sheet formula to do it. I don't care which way you do it. Just find the z-scores for those. And then which one is the most impressive would just be the one with the biggest z-score. So it's telling you which one is the biggest outlier, if there are any outliers. That's a technical word, but which one is more impressive compared to all the other roller coasters in that certain category. Okay, let's keep looking. The rest of what you have for this week is homework for 14.3, 4, and 5. There are, again, the fill-in sheets that you don't really have to fill in, but you can if you want. There are video lectures. You can go back. You might need the statistics video from week 2 again. That's pretty much it. So you have 3 homework assignments. You have project work. You have a reflection. Those are the main things that are due this week. And let me know if you have any questions.